Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me wherever you are joining me. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree. But whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. And if you're joining me on the YouTube channel, like, subscribe, leave a comment. We always love to hear from you. So apparently, college football has decided they're going to go all in on the idea that this is not amateur sports. They're going all in on the idea that this is not amateur sports. Why, you might say? Well, it's really simple. They're giving money to everybody. And we're not talking small money. We are talking major money. They're giving it out. They're giving it away. Like, the money is flowing. It's flowing. Let's quick recollection. Mel Tucker, $100 million, 10 years, or 90-something million dollars, $100 million. That's great. James Franklin, 10 years, whatever, $80 million, $90 million, whatever. Who cares? Tons of money. I'm not really sure about the Billy Napier money, but I'm sure it's significant. We know it's 100 million private jets and houses at USC. And now we're hearing that LSU has made the offer to Chip Kelly for a 10-year, $100 million deal. This is on top of the crazy money that was given to Jimbo Fisher. But here's the thing, right? Jimbo Fisher, whether you like him or not, won a national title. And he did so with the players that he brought in. He took them to another national title. Can't really be upset at him getting this type of money. The other people who are getting this type of money, Dabo Swinney, we know what he's done. The GOAT, we know what he's done. The rest of these jokers haven't won a thing. Y'all are paying people who have not even won conference championships consistently. You're paying them like they're Nick Saban. I'm going to rewind this again. You are paying coaches who have not won like Nick Saban has won, like Nick Saban. I don't even have an issue with that. If that's what you want to do with your money, do that with your money. I'm not mad at that. What I am upset at is you same jokers keep telling me you can't pay players. Name, image, and likeness. We got to make sure it's on the up and up. We got to make sure that people aren't hustling the system. You're paying coaches $10 million a year, $9 million a year. You know what? I have a calculator here. You know what I'm going to do? HandyDandy Calculator. Always keep it on my phone. Maybe some of you might have a HandyDandy Calculator as well, and you can join in this. And maybe somebody can tell me what I'm missing. Because I'm looking at $10 million a year and trying to figure out why they can't pay players any money. If you can afford to give the head coach $10 million and then to pay all of the assistant coaches and whatever's going to come with that, that's probably going to be another $5 million. You got to, if you have a $10 million a year coach, you're definitely going to have somewhere close to $1 million a year coordinators. Right? You're going to be paying somewhere in the $500,000 to $300,000 range for some of your top assistants. You're going to then be paying anywhere around $100,000 plus for all of the other people. That doesn't include what you're going to spend on the recruiting budget, which we know 3 years ago the University of Georgia was spending upwards of $3 million. That means everybody's got to come to that standard because we see what Georgia's out here doing. But we're just going to take the head coach's salary right now. We're not going to jump all the way down the rabbit hole. And we're going to say this $10 million, if you divided that $10 million among 115 people, you could pay them $87,000 a year. I'm not asking you to make players rich in this world that we're living in. So let's just say you gave them some money, gave them a little something to where they could live a comfortable collegiate existence without feeling like they had to depend on the program to provide food and whatever else they might need on a regular basis. Just give them money, right? Let's say we paid the coach, I don't know, a paltry $6 million instead of $10 million. And we took the $4 million and we divided that up by the 115 players. That would be enough for you to give each player $35,000 a year. That's an entry-level job. That's an entry-level job. And if you gave that player $34,000 over his 4 to 5 years, you would have given that player somewhere close to $140,000 for 4 years of service. $140,000 for 4 years of service. That still would pale in comparison to the $6 million a year that you're giving to the coach. You people have to miss me with this ridiculousness that you're hitting us with. When you tell us that we can't pay players. We can't afford to pay the players because that would bankrupt college. No, it won't. You're paying these coaches $10 million. And again, coaches, I'm sorry, as a coach, I don't want to pocket watch you. But I care about the players more because those are the ones who are out there putting their bodies on the line. And you know what? Some of these coaches should care more as well. Has any of these coaches went into these meetings and said, "Hey, I'm going to come and play. I'm going to come and coach, but we need to make sure we're compensating our players some type of way. We need to make sure that our players are being taken care of, not just like a pimp takes care of the prostitute, where they take their money from them and then they give them a little bit of money here and there in order to be able to allow the worker to live. Hey, I'm going to take your money. Oh, what, you need clothes? I'm going to buy you all the clothes you want with your own money. Oh, you want to go out to eat? I'm going to take you anywhere you want to eat with your own money, but I'm never going to give you the money because now if I give you the money, you're no longer dependent on me. I want you to put the money in the hand of the player. Because if you can give a coach $10 million who has not won a thing, Mel Tucker, they haven't won anything of significance. Not that they're not good coaches. These are all great coaches. James Franklin is a great coach. He hasn't won anything significant. He hasn't even, at least Lincoln Riley has won a Big 12 championship and has participated in the college football playoff. At least Chip Kelly has gone to a college football playoff. Probably should not have, because it wasn't pretty. Probably should not have, but he went. But none of them have won a championship. You're paying coaches who have not won a national title like they are national title winning coaches. So now when the national title winning coach, when it's their time to re-up, what do you have to pay them in order for them to feel like they're being compensated correctly? See, that's the trickle-down effect, right? Or the bump-up effect. If you pay somebody who has not earned that status money like those who have earned that status, then what must you pay those who have earned the status? This is the problem that we have in the NFL right now with quarterbacks. Because you guys have decided that $30 million a year is the going rate for a quarterback, even though that should be the going rate for a really good quarterback, because that's what you've decided. Now you're paying players who don't deserve that money, that type of money, which makes the really good players go, well, you got to break the bank for me. With the amount of money that a guy like that these quarterbacks are making, if I'm Lamar Jackson and my value is as a quarterback and as a rusher, if I'm him, you can't sign me for anything less than more money than anyone has ever made. That's the same thing now. If I'm Nick Saban, I'm right back in Alabama's office. Hey, man, all of these people are making money like me, but I have multiple championships. They don't have any. So if they're going to pay them like they're me, then I need to be paid differently so people know they ain't me. That's what's going on right now. The reality has been skewed so much, and the entire time we keep hearing there's no money to pay the players. We keep hearing it. There's no money to pay the players. Really? No money to pay the players. None. Oh, well, some teams are going to be able to play, and then some teams are not going to be able to pay. Guess what? The teams that are able to pay should pay. The teams who are not able to pay, guess what? They're not going to pay. What is that going to change? Nothing. In college football, there are only a handful of teams who are going to win the national championship every single year. We know it. We just don't want to admit it. Every single year, there are only a handful of teams who are going to win the championship. We know it, and we just don't want to admit it. So what are we doing? What are we talking about? Why are we trying to make it something that it's not? Oh, well, it's already a divide. There's already a divide. The SEC, the most powerful conference in college football, they have a few teams who have a chance to win the national championship every year. Excuse me, not a few. They have a couple. Then they have a few teams that, depending upon how the season goes, they may have a chance to win the national title. And then they have everybody else. A bunch of teams have zero chance to win a national title. They don't recruit at the same level. They don't have the same level of coaching, whatever you might want to say about them. Because for everybody that says, oh, well, Nick Saban gets the best players, that's why he's winning championships. Nick Saban walked in the door and within a year started winning championships. He's on a different level than you, coach. I can't walk into Alabama and do what Nick Saban does. I'm not as good a coach as Nick Saban is. And if you're out there saying you are, you're lying to yourself. Because if that was the case, then other teams around the country would be winning championships. They're not. Why? Because Nick Saban exists. That's why. Other teams would have national titles if it wasn't for Nick Saban. Dabo Swinney broke through. He can't even sustain it. Not like Nick Saban can. He had a good run. But he couldn't sustain it. Not like Nick. That's why Nick's the GOAT. So if you're going to pay these coaches like they're Nick Saban without being Nick Saban, why can't you pay these players? Why can't you pay these players? If you're able to raise $10 million a year to give to a coach that has not won a national title, you can't raise $2 million to disperse amongst the players? You can't get a fund together that perpetuates itself, that you get people to donate into, that ends up going to the players above board? This is simple math, ladies and gentlemen. This ain't highway robbery. It's a simple math. The time to accept the fact that they are not paying these players are over. This trickle-down effect is not going to stop. You don't think Mike Stoops is about to get paid major money, possibly $10 million a year? You don't think one of these teams is about to back the Brinks truck up to get him? He's the hottest free agent in football right now. Wherever he goes, the trickle down will continue to go. Notre Dame is possibly going to now have an opening. You think Notre Dame's going to be able to pay somebody peanuts to come in there and coach Notre Dame? No. This thing is never going to stop. It's a shell game. And who keeps losing? The players. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. We do this thing a few times a week. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. And if you're joining me on the YouTube channel, like, subscribe, leave a comment. We want to hear from you. Have a good one. Peace.